Play poker in forever. See if we can grind some out. I cashed out the majority of my roll, so left 500. Only cashed out 1,000, so it wasn't an insane win. But I hadn't been playing, so I didn't want to keep a ton of money on it. Really, any online site, and Ignition is fine, but I don't really trust, like I said, any of the online sites if I'm just going to leave it there. So we got 500. We'll play some 50 NL. Technically, if you have a $500 roll, you should probably be looking for 25 NL. But considering the majority of my roll was always live anyway, it's pretty liquid back and forth, so I feel comfortable playing some 50 here. Some quarter 50. So we'll see if we can grind something out. Good. Hopefully you can't hear my music. So last time I streamed, they shut it down because you could hear copyrighted music. I was playing Drake. This time I have Lana. So that was kind of annoying, but looks like you can't hear it. Bad part is you can't hear. All right, we have second pair, and now we could actually get some value from some worse hands. So I'm gonna bet 0.77. And I'll probably get called by most fours, hearts, some ace highs, and we're gonna win that one. Not bad. So hopefully, one of the reasons I hadn't played is there's a big update on Ignition probably a little over a month ago, and I could not get Hold'em Manager 2 to work very well. Like, it would work on one table but not another, and it was just too much of a headache. I hadn't been playing a lot anyway, so I kind of just took a break. I'm going to 3-bet this guy, even though that's a big open. We'll make a big 3-bet and fold to a 4-bet. I might jing him over a 4-bet. Nah, he's going to let it go. All right. Yeah, I'd probably fold. Readless. What was I saying? Anyway. And we'll just defend there. Yeah, there's a big update, and wasn't really doing it for me anymore, for real. I just couldn't get Hold'em Manager 2 to work, and hadn't been that interested in playing anyway, so just kind of gave up on it. We have a gut shot to the nuts. He checked back. He should bet most of his aces, probably most of his tens. I don't know why he didn't see bet. That's a decent board too, but maybe he just thought he had the best hand. We make Broadway here, but it's 3 flush. We shouldn't get a ton of action from worse hands, so we'll bet 2 if it's checked to us and it's not a spade on the river. I'm just going to check that one through. Pocket 6s or 7s is possible. That would be a hand that could possibly check back. 4-5 offsuit checking back is a little, I mean, I guess it's fine. Like, you have bottom pair, so that's cool. I imagine we're going to win this one. I'm not even going to raise. Yeah, I thought about playing in a small raise, hoping maybe to see an ace or maybe 3 of a kind, but I don't need to reopen it and then get into a weird spot. But yeah, just haven't been playing a ton. Flush draw here, I think we'll lead. Nobody raised pre, we'll just try and take initiative in here, take it down for free. 9 high, obviously. We don't want to go to showdown, but we have a lot of equity against non-flush draws. Open our button to 2.5x. Did not flop much. I think we'll still bet probably $1.03. A backdoor flush draw, or a backdoor straight draw. We do have a backdoor royal flush draw technically. We hit part of our Broadway. Actually, it's double gutter, so I think we'll fire one more. And then obviously we'll fire if we hit. So a king or a 9 will give us the best hand. So we turn some outs. It's a decent card to barrel. Turn outs. If he has like a 10 or a king high type hand, he's not going to be happy with it. I don't think a guy would limp a lot of aces heads up, so I think we're just going to bluff call this guy down. And then take a note if he does have ace-5 or something weird. Now if he overbets the pot on the river, we'll just fold. Or even if he bets full pot, I'll have to think about it. I guess we'd fold for full pot. For $1, we're definitely calling. He's going to show a pair of threes. We're going to chop that up, unfortunately. I don't know why he bet a 3 there on the river. I think you can check that back. I'm not sure. Worse is calling. I think you could bluff for a bigger bet, hoping to get like a chop to fold or like some other weird hand. I guess actually, now that I think about it, I shouldn't have very many pairs, and I could be looking up with king high, though when I call on the turn, I'm not sure there's a ton of value in raising the river. Now we have top pair, open-ended straight draw. I think we're just going to check raise all in, since the stack is so small. And those are folds. Yeah, we're just going to put it in on him. He might have a set, 2 pair, something. We'll see. Obviously, he can't fold for $1.50. He's going to show ace-9 high, and the queen's going to win. So, get lucky there. Well, he bet 9 into... What did he bet that into? 9 into like 3 or something? There's no way the pot was $9, right? I bet $1.50 made 3, so he must have bet 9 into 7. Weird. Pretty dumb, actually. You know what? Let's see if we can just take this down out of position. That's a valuable enough hand. We'll raise. And it looks like we're going to win $2. If not, we'll have a shallow SPR in case we flop a pair. It'll be a pretty straightforward decision. I love heads up, so this is pretty nice. We get to play this guy heads up. Unfortunately, his stack size is pretty small. 7-8 we can fold. King 10 will definitely be raising on the button, for sure. I won't be 3-betting it. Small stack, min raise. How do I edit my... Okay, on Twitch, I used to be able to just edit... Ow. Interesting. And we're just gonna let that go. Why can I not edit the name of my video right now? I thought you could change your stream. So it's fine. I mean, it's accurate. Poker ignition, 15L6 max. So it's not a big deal. What about this? I need some more clickbaity titles. Oh, I haven't even noticed. Are all my... I don't think my HUD's working. See, this is the problem I have. It'll work on like 3 of them, but not the 4th. Makes no sense. This is exactly the problem I was having last time. I'd have one table that has no HUD. Pocket kings right there. That's nice. And queen high. Really nothing going for us out of position. Sometimes you could float. You have a read on someone. This is an okay hand to float with position because you can do a lot more. You can bluff them and stuff. But so we have kings and ace flops. I think we're going to check through. And then if it's a brick on the turn, we'll go bet. So I'll probably bet like 330 here. If this guy leads for a decent bet, I guess we'll call. And then it's just kind of a stupid spot though. That's 287. We're going to call. If this guy calls behind, it's just going to be a snap fold. See how he plays the river. We did not flop a set here, so we're going to check fold. Ace jack, ace 10 are his likely hands. We're going to check that back. Queen 10, no good, sir. Why would you lead a bare, like a complete naked bluff into 2 people? I'm not sure. So this guy probably not. See if he had any reason to do that. He was blocking the queen high flush, I believe. No, he's blocking the 10 high flush. draw, obviously. So if it's like, let's say I raise pre, he calls and it goes check check, then leading the turn's like, okay, your queen high might be the best hand, but it might not be. You get some king highs to fold, I suppose. So that's okay. But into two people on a board where like a bunch of draws come in, so you're probably going to get called. You're going to get called by a lot of pairs. You're going to get called by a lot of hands like this, kings, queens, jacks, tens, that just checked back for pot control against the ace. You're also going to get called by all the flush draws, which will include ace high and king high ones that are beating you at showdown. So when this 10 hits, I bet he was going to fire another big one, except when the 10 hit, he thought to himself, I might have the best hand now, and I don't think he has an ace since he checked it back on the flop. So I think he was like, okay, let's just show it down. And it worked out for him in that I didn't bet. I couldn't see a ton of value in betting. I didn't expect him to have a queen 10 type hand ever. So that worked out for him, and we're just going to fold sixes here. Not much else we can do. (10-7). This guy's pretty tight, so we will steal. Gotta steal where you can, and we'll complete here. Queen 8 offsuit's fine. We're three-handed. This guy raising is gonna force us to fold, though. Why do I not have hands here? Come on. I really don't understand why I don't have my HUD running on all three. Just makes no sense. Yeah, we sure didn't flop anything. He leads. We have no pair. We have a backdoor 4 straight. It's just terrible. I'll let that go pretty quickly. So yeah, at 50-0, pretty much our main goal the whole time is just to not make mistakes. They will make tons of mistakes for you. You don't have to fancy play. You don't have to make big calls. Sometimes you'll make some like interesting calls and stuff, but it won't be big in the traditional sense because you'll have a pretty good idea of why you're doing it, given their stats. We turn trips here, so you shouldn't have queens, pocket fours. It would involve a 4-handed game dealing all 4 sevens, so we have a very strong hand, 3-handed, and we're going to try and get all the money in. I probably should have raised a little bit bigger, but I didn't. Now 2 draws come in, so if he had like nothing and then ended up turning a flush draw, he's in pretty good shape now. So if he check raises river, we'll probably just have to fold. I sized it 650, which should be good. Yeah, he does have the K7. That's the second time today that we've chopped with a better kicker, but just the way the board runs out. So he did have the K7. Didn't want to get it in on that turn. When he called that quick, I was a little bit worried, but I was actually still hopeful he would just show us like queen jack or something. So he leads deuce 7. Pair 7's actually nothing too crazy about that. I think I would check it. I'm not sure what value. You get value from 5-6. Obviously you're losing to all 7s, all queens, including my 7, though it worked out. Yeah, I don't know if you need to lead that second pair. I think there's some second pairs you can lead on other boards. That would have been 2 pair. Oh, we have 2 pair. Sweet. We're actually in here still. Alright, queen 6, I hit the mug. Deuce 7, we'll probably just... He's 22-22, fold to steal 100. So if it goes fold-fold, we will steal. And if there's a raise or a limp in front of it... If there's a limp, I guess I'd complete. These stack sizes are stupid. Like, really stupid. I actually don't really like this table, and I don't like that my HUD's not working on this one. Let's see. I'm going to just tell the HUD stop for a second, and then start it back up. 1, 2, 3. Hey, it worked. Alright, so we just had to restart it, though, no wait, never mind, it just had those overlaid here, so it is not working on there yet. Why? I don't know. Let's see if a new table will work for us. How's our session going? We are up $4 in 15 minutes. Not bad. Fold there. This is a hand that plays as an interesting 3-bet against some players, but actually him showing the ace of diamonds makes our hand really bad for a couple of reasons. Blocks one of our flush outs. It also makes it possible that our flush would not have been good. He could add nut flush. And it also makes it so that if we hit our flush, he would have the nut flush draw. So let's say we flopped a flush, he would have the nut flush draw, so he'd still have equity against us. And obviously we're going to call it off against this guy who shows us the 9-10. We flop top 2. We just got to fade a running straight, which we do. So win a little pot there. Nice. We are going to open pocket 2s under the gun, but 4-handed. We're really we're really button +1. And we do flop a full house. And we will call and then raise turn, bet river. I'm going to make it a pretty big, so I can extract some value on the river here. Six, 9, pocket 9s, only hands that really beat me. King 6, pocket kings, also possible, but very unlikely. So we are going to be shoving here for value. And when he takes this long, we have the best hand 99% of the time. He would have to be the biggest nit in the world to be thinking about folding pocket 9s or 6-9 here. He is going to lose a decent sized pot there. And I got pocket kings now. We're going to put in a squeeze. Hopefully we have a aggressive image. Shove. He's in bad shape. Now he's drawing dead. So we are going to win that one. Maybe I could have raised less on the river. He bet 8 into a ton, so it seemed like maybe it was a weird thin bet. Maybe I should have done something smaller. I don't know. Oh, I did not. Man, it's not that bad, but that is not a hand you need to be calling. I guess it was a min raise, so it's not too bad. And bottom pair, backdoor flush draw. We'll peel one off here. Turn 2 pair. I think we'll check raise, bet fold river. If he raises turn, we're just going to have to go call. I assume we're winning this against like an ace-10, jack-10 type of thing. And our ace-king 1 over there too. So we're running pretty well right now. We won 3 hands in a row here, 4-handed. Now it looks like we're 5-handed. What did he have? Queen 10? Ace high. So understandable. He had a gut shot and the nut flush draw, so calling the turn was fine. Calling the river with ace high. Okay. Just tired of getting pushed around apparently. We'll peel one here. unfortunately come up dry. Yeah, I'm not sure what that ace high call down was. What was my river bet? So quick bit of, I don't want to call it poker theory, but I guess technically it's like very basic poker theory. This wasn't, was this the hand? Yeah, that wasn't even the hand. Come on. Okay. Okay, I raise turn. Pot's 13. I'm at 850 into 13. That's bad. That's pretty bad for him to be calling here. That was a big bet. And he's holding the ace of diamond, the ace of club. So it's not like, what's going on up here? Sorry, so 850, the pot was 2190, so 2190 plus 850 is gonna be, let's call it 31. So he would have to win 30% of the time there. And he's blocking the nut flush draw, and I called flop, raised turn. Also on top of that, if I was bluffing like a jack 8, it got there. If I had queen jack, it got there as a straight. Queen 8 paired up. I mean, I don't know what hands he's really beating there. I think that was kind of tired of me kind of running well. I think he was getting annoyed, essentially. So that worked out well for us. And look at the graph. Let's take a second. Ace jack, 8-4. You know what? Actually, I gotta go put my dinner in. Back, and we're gonna raise that. All right, ace 4. We got one short stack call out of the big blind and 2 full stacks. We flop top pair, nut flush draw, so we are gonna be fully pushing this one as hard as we can. Probably bet a little over 2/3 flop and then see how the turn goes. A heart would be nice. Bets we are going to call. Let the possibility of some weaker draws in there, especially a flush over flush possibility. And then there's not a ton of cards we're scared of since we're holding the nut outs. And we'll check that back. If the turn's like a 2 of hearts or something, just a complete brick, I'll probably bet. It's a really drawy board. If I was just closing the action, I'd probably be betting here. I'm not even gonna mess with that. Out of position. This guy shoving would be fine. This guy shoving and then this guy calling would be cool. And obviously a heart or a 4 on the turn would be very cool. I'll take a heart. Oh, he's deconned. So Ignition has some connectivity issues, even after all these years and all the complaints on 2+2. It's kind of wild, actually, when you think about how much better the software was on Full Tilt and Stars back in 2007. It's actually, like, mind-boggling. Alright, I usually don't peel, but we'll peel one here. We flop a flush. And we take that one down. So that's good for the red line, which is the non-showdown. We're going to raise 7-8 here. We're going to have to bet. If the river's a jack or a 9, and obviously if it's a king, this hand's over. Yeah, that's okay for the red line too. So I'm going to be able to check raise this guy. He has a pretty tight range. His pre-flop was 10, but he placed 65% of hands, so I thought maybe the hands that he actually raises are better, but apparently they were not. I don't like c-betting a ton out of position, but this guy's been a little bit weak, and we also have a backdoor straight draw and flush draw. We turn a gut shot, but the ace being out there, I don't expect him to have that many 9s or 4s. I also don't expect him to be calling that quick with like 8s. The type of hands he'd fold here to 2 barrels, so I think we're going to check and just give this one up. That one, that's okay. Oh, come on. Yeah, maybe I should have fired another one. I'm not going to bet the river now. It's a pretty unbelievable story. And I don't know how good this guy is, if he's going to be able to parse that out. Yeah, he bets 350 into 6, so probably an ace-10 type hand. I don't think he'd check back a 2-pair or a set, but probably an ace-10 type hand, possibly ace-queen, though ace-queen should probably bet the turn. Ace-jack should definitely bet the turn. Honestly, pretty much any ace should bet this turn because of how many draws came in with that jack of hearts. What we got going on over here? Well, 662 into 1069 on the flop. Must have been 3-bet pre, but it would have been a smallish 3-bet. No, I guess $1.50 make it 5. That would make sense. So that one's okay. I timed out in 2 spots. That's annoying. Ace Queen suited under the gun. We are going to pop that up. 3x. King 7. So annoying. It auto posted for us. So this guy's plays pretty weak though. I think we'll just call him down here. Yeah. I think we have the best hand almost always. So I bet, got 3-bet, and this guy called 4-bet. So even though ace queen suited here, it looks really nice. We're 6-handed. That is going to be a very, very straightforward fold. And ace high is no good, sir. So we're going to take that down with king 7. It accidentally, well, kind of accidental for us. It posted for us because I hit auto post blind and we had missed one. So we got a little fortunate there. His bluff sizing on the river is pretty atrocious. He bet $1.50 into a pot of 1022. No, it must have been $1.50 into like 7. Problem with that, if I pull out the calculator, when he bets $1.50 into 7, I'm being asked to call $1.50 to win $8.50. Or what, the pot was 10, so it must have been $1.50 to win 10. The math on that's easy. I only have to win 15% of the time. So pretty much no pair is ever going to fold. Here we have top. Against a bad player, we'll actually bet. Oh, I did not see that guy behind us. So he'll make it a little more interesting. Against this player, we'd probably go bet, small bet, river if it came brick. If we made trips or 2-pair, we'd go bet, 2/3 probably. Yeah, we're going to bet here too. Every 7, every 3, some ace highs will be coming along. So if he raises, I guess it would matter what size it is. I saw him get way out of line earlier on some strange situation. Here we have top boat. So we are going to bet small to get looked up by ace high. If he bets, we'll call. So he was bluffing. He had 9 high. He wasn't going to call a raise, and if he shoved, he probably would have had to fold, even though he's kind of a moron. So he actually made a decent bluff. Like, his sizing that time was a little more believable. Like, he had a boat, or he had something valuable. But we had top boat, and he's shown us that he's kind of a moron. So unfortunately, we can't fold to him. So make a little bit there. That was nice. And this guy's just kind of trying to go broke. You can see his stats. 88-24 is just way, way, way too loose. 30-17 is too loose. These are small sample sizes, but you can tell pretty quickly once you hit, 20 hands. If a guy's in the 88-24 range, he's just limping a ton of hands, hoping for the best pre-flop. And it's just not the way you can win in these games. It hasn't been the way you can win in these games since before I started, which was 2007. You got to play pretty taggy, so like 25-20, something like that, even tighter, 20-18, 20-15. It's a lot of styles that can work, some that are super tight, some that are relatively laggy. But one thing you'll always notice is you're not going to have a huge disparity between that VPIP and that PFR. So the VP and the PF right there stand for voluntarily put money into the pot, which is anytime you limp or raise. And the PF is pre-flop raise, also known as PFR, and that's how often you're raising. So you want those numbers to be pretty compacted, pretty close together. Like 15-11 here, those numbers are together. That's actually a little tight after even 27 hands, but like I said, these are small sample sizes. So my actual stats are not as close together as I'd like. Let's pull up Hold'em Manager, and we'll just look at 25-50, 6 max. Generally play 28-21. So 28.1, 20.9. So 28-21. I think that could be a little bit closer together. I think that 3-bet could go up a little bit. But this style has worked pretty well for me. What's our big blind per 100 is 13. It's only after 25,000 hands, which is not an enormous sample by any means. But I feel like it might be in the ballpark, considering what my win rate was before Black Friday and the fact that we're only playing 4 tables. So my win rate before Black Friday at 6 max and 50 NL. Now the game has changed a little bit since then, but was in like only the 3-4, but I played 12 tables. I was kind of a rake back grinder. So now that we're taking a little more time to make decisions, I think somewhere in the 10 big blind per 100 would probably be accurate. But we would need a much bigger sample size. I really am not interested in seeing stats until we hit like 100,000 hands, and I just haven't been playing very much, so I don't know when that's going to happen, if that's going to happen. It'd be nice if it did. Make a little bit of money. King 3 under the gun, pretty easy fold. Doesn't play well, even four-handed. If it's suited, it's at least like, it can make a decent flush, but even suited and even four-handed probably wouldn't play King 3 suited. Obviously King 3 offsuit, you'd need a great reason to open that under the gun. Like, you'd have to be playing with a ton of super nits, which we're not. This guy's 33-7, this guy's very taggy, and this guy's very loose. Loose bad, Jack 5 under the gun, same story. No reason to play it. Probably the biggest leak that I think most people have is just playing too many hands pre-flop, especially uncoordinated hands. Hands that aren't suited, can't do anything from early position. Queen 10 suited, four-handed. This actually does make a pretty decent open. Now we get 3-bet, and makes it a little more interesting, but not all that interesting. Here we have a backdoor nut flush draw. It's not very interesting given his stack size. It's really not that interesting to begin with. I don't think you need to be defending Queen 10 suited against a 3-bet out of position, and definitely with that stack size, the SPR would be like 1 or something. Plays terrible with that stack to pot ratio, and it's just not a very strong hand. Like when you're looking at SPRs like that, you really want a hand that just makes top pair and you just can go with it. This is a hand you could actually punish this guy for limping with and I wish I had. I think if you just make it $2, he folds the majority of the time, and the time he doesn't, you're going to have the advantage of position. Here we flop top in a 3-way min-raised pot. Not like a home run by any means, but given the stack size, no one even has 50 bigs. In fact, these guys each have 30. Given how drawy that board is, we are going to raise and try and get it in. I'll c-bet this. We have a backdoor flush or a backdoor straight draw, and that's about it. We turn a pair. Yeah, and we are obviously completely committed to this pot. 8-9 got there, Jack-10 got there. Pocket Jacks already had us beat, but we are going to have to call this off and hope he doesn't have Jack-10, and he does. Wow. So he 3-outed us, but we 3-outed him right back, which was nice. This is actually somewhat interesting. This guy's really loose and pretty bad. I don't think we want to bluff. You know, we're going to check it back and then hopefully get to showdown. If he bets, I think we're going to fold. I think he has some ace highs, he has some flush draws, he has some jacks. Yeah, big bet like that. We are going to let that go pretty quickly. I will call with the 9s here. You can 3-bet these pre. We're playing them a little more passively, which is where that 28-20 separation comes from, is I play some of these hands a little more passively. Out of position. But we do take it down. It goes check, 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 check. If you bet river, that's going to be pretty gross. Because they actually have a ton of aces in their range, and a lot of ace highs would play it exactly like that. C-bet flop, give up on the turn, and then value bet the river. But it's also a great card for them to bluff. So it kind of just matters if you think they're capable of bluffing. Now this guy's ag factor's 4, which is pretty high for 50-0 players, so I might have looked him up. I think we're going to get a little trickier, check back, and then bet river. Probably bet like $3 on the river. Probably 333. So he bets river. We're going to call, I think. He's not super aggressive. Ace-10? Definitely possible. King-Jack possible. He never 3-bets, so both of those hands are for sure possible. He also bet pretty quickly. I don't know if he's bluffing, and I don't know if he bet a queen. I don't actually know if I need to be calling here. I don't think I'm good enough to fold, though, after pot controlling top pair. Alright, ace-10. That's ace-10. Oh, whoops. And then we just accidentally 3-bet a min-raise with ace-jack. That one's actually not too bad. This one seemed pretty strong when you think about it. I was kind of hoping he'd bet like $1 or something that looked like a blocking bet. That definitely looked like a value bet, and there's not really any value hand that we beat. Yeah, this is why I don't usually 3-bet ace-jack off. It's actually not terrible, but we just got cold 4-bet by a guy who never 3-bets, so we're not going to be able to call that. This guy opened ship 17 into a guy who completed his button. Interesting. We do have second pair, so we'll peel one off here. And he's kind of aggressive. I think we'll probably just strap ourselves in and call down. Given how drawy this board is, we are going to bet this turn. And then reevaluate on the river. I don't think we would value that river. If the river comes a brick, I think we'll check, and I think we'd win the majority of the time. He gives that up. So, good for the red line. I know I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube, but I'm trying to keep track of both of them, so if you have any questions, just hit it up in chat. I'll answer whatever I can, whether it's about Ignition software or if it's a poker question. I'm not actually thinking about that, by the way. I was just trying to finish that thought. So we're playing heads up against a guy who's trying to shove $20 away, so. Oh, rip. Unfortunate. And 2-4, we have a gut shot, $1. This guy's stack size is pretty small, so we're not going to draw to the gut shot. I will complete there. And we flop bottom pair. Queen 6, we can fold. Let's get an update on this graph. How we doing? Oh, that's the, hold on. That's not the session. So for this session, we're up 77, it looks like. Give me a graph. Red line's up. Green line's obviously up. A6, we're gonna pop up. 2.5x. I'm gonna bet that one too. Makes it more likely we have the best hand. Now we're also getting value from lone spades. Only thing I'm worried about is that guy shoving like draws and stuff, but I'll just fold. He's gonna give his money away, so quite literally, I'm not too worried about it. We'll get it eventually. 3-4 suited, we'll check. That's an open-ender, but we folded pre, and we got nothing with that. We're gonna fold here. Definitely opening queen jack. I think I want to open to $1.25, considering how crazy this guy is, but it's okay. 2 overs and a gut shot. I'm gonna check this back. Gosh, it's such an easy C bet, but if he has anything, he's gonna put it in on us. 2 overs and a gut shot. Do I want to flip with him? He called. Nine. Probably have the best hand now. Just saying. We have jacks, button versus small blind. It's not like a slam dunk shove. Because I think back 2007, 8, 9, 10, before Black Friday, I was pretty happy to get jacks in that situation. Smart players have actually tightened up to the point where they're not calling it off with worse. So I usually want to see that someone's capable of shoving worse or 4-betting worse. That diamond makes me kind of okay with c-betting. Yeah, we're gonna try and just get to showdown here. Hope he shows queen jack. Queen 10's okay. So we're getting to play a little bit of heads up. This guy's not very good, so that's actually a nice spot for us to be in. This guy's pretty bad. What's his fold to c-bet percentage? Is only 33%. We should have the best hand fairly often though. Ace high. This might be one that I actually barrel. Come on. So the king's an okay card for us to barrel. And we're playing heads up, so actually an okay river force too. I think we'll be looking this up if he bets. Looks like he's gonna check, and we're gonna win that. Yeah, the ace heads up is just such a good card for people to bet. Here we actually flopped open-ender, backdoor straight flush draw. So somewhat interested in this. You can check raise it, or you can check call it. I think we're gonna check call, given the hearts out here. We're not gonna have that opportunity because it checks through. All right, we're gonna 3-bet ace queen, hoping to get it in pre, but he folds to our 3-bet. That's fine. And we'll just mint raise until this guy shows us how he plays heads up. Folds to that c-bet, which is good because we really didn't have anything going for us. Nothing backdoor or anything. He limps. I was actually going to 3-bet this one too, just to see how this guy reacts to 3-bets. We flop a gut shot. He shouldn't have a ton of aces, so I think we're going to kind of want to check raise. Yeah, we'll call here. Hopefully this guy does not come back over the top. And we whiff. Yeah, check raise 1. Check raise got through. This guy's pretty weak. Plays pretty weak. You can actually get plenty of value here from diamond draws, sixes, ace highs. I think we're going to bet one more and then probably check back river. If it's a diamond, that would actually be interesting, but he folds turn. So top pair, okay kicker. 4 ways, but we're completely out of position. We're actually first to act. Okay, I would open that. That's fine. So hopefully it goes check. Turns like the Jack of Hearts. That's actually a card we could get some value on. He does not check. So now we're in a spot where we kind of got to just let him take over here. No. And we're going to just bet a little bit, see if ace high or something will look us up. Can't have kings or aces. So it's going to be a pretty easy bet back. I guess we're chopping though. Yeah, he's going to show queen 9. Hoping for some ace high calls, some moron with a flush draw who doesn't believe us and calls turn. Ace high calling the river, stuff like that. But the most obvious thing is the chop. So we actually end up paying some rake. Sometimes I would play this for a raise or a limp if it went limp, limp, limp. This guy's got a small stack. I'm not going to isolate against him, and I'm also not that interested in over limping 3-5 suited in that spot. So that's fine. We fold. Oh yeah, I'm back. I timed out and I lost my fish because I was paying attention up there. That's very disappointing. All right. Got some guy with 15 bucks. That's the guy that just left, I think, for real. Isn't that how much he had? Maybe not. Ugh. I'm just gonna fold. So 2 guys behind me to act, one with a really small stack. This hand is fun to play. Queen 10 suited's fun to play. And flopping trips is even more fun. But you have to either isolate against a short stack or you have to overlimp with guys behind you that could squeeze the dead money. So it's just not a lot of good options there. So unfortunately we would have flopped 3 of a kind, but that's kind of just how it is. You see that all the time in poker. Fold a lot of hands like you're supposed to. You're going to see a lot of flops that would have been good. So my original goal was to grind out until my roll was 5K, just as like a challenge thing, but I really didn't play over the summer. I went up north, I went on vacation, which was nice. I have a real job. So summer's a good time to take some time off for the family. So I didn't really stream and I really didn't play that much. I played a little bit live. Yeah, I honestly didn't even play live. I just haven't been playing that much cards. So the roll was like 2,500 and they had this promotion where you could earn tournament tickets by grinding out poker points or whatever. And I blew like 1,100 playing 100 in L zone. Some bad play and some run bad, and it was just a disaster. So the roll was down to, at that point, I think it was so I said it was around 2,500. I think it was down to 1,300. I grinded it up to about 1,520 and then didn't play for like 6 weeks or something. And this weekend I was like, why do I have 1,500 sitting on ignition for no reason? So I cashed out 1,000 of it, which I'm just holding in Bitcoin. Not that I think it's gonna go up or down, I don't know, but I'm fine with it. Interesting. Okay. Anyway, pretty standard call. Yeah, he's got the flush. We have trips with a great kicker, so king queen losing to king 4 there's not a lot of fun, but he had a flush draw and he got there. Kind of wish the river wasn't a queen though. I probably would have looked up a lot. We checked back turns so we could call rivers. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, I cashed out the majority of it. Just don't need it sitting on an online site, especially Ignition got bought out by some other gaming company. It's gone through so many owners now. I'm half scared that I don't really know who's in control of the money anymore. So I'm not going to keep a ton of money on here unless we grind it up again and I want to play higher, but as long as I'm just playing 50 an L, we'll just keep like 10 buy-ins on here at a time if I'm actually going to play. And hopefully we can grind some out. Where was I going with that story? Oh yeah, I was going to say, so our total results, the winning, we're at plus 2,000 between everything. Pot limit Omaha has been pretty terrible to us. That's 1025 pot limit. That's 1, 2, 3. That's 13 buy-ins in 2,000 hands. Pot limit Omaha is just a ridiculous game though. But we got brutalized. I'm pretty rusty at it. It used to be my second best game, and then probably 8 or better being my third. But Hold'em was always by far. Maybe it was probably no limit, and then limit Hold'em, and then PLO. I don't know. It's close. I was decent at PLO. But really rusty at it, so all the decisions when I was playing it, felt like I was having to think through it. None of it was coming second nature. I felt lost in a lot of spots, and then I don't think we ran that bad. We might have ran fine. Let's see. The red line was down, so we ran like 8 buy-ins. No, it's 5 buy-ins below EV. Really nothing crazy. Even if we had ran at EV, we were going to be stuck 8 buy-ins. I wish bigs. So we make nut flush. He's going to show ace high. Now he's going to show a pair of 5s. 6 show, sir. 6 show. Aces over here. Wins a small pot. That's kind of weird. I wish I'd paid attention to that. Pocket 5s will open under the gun. So yeah, I haven't been playing PLO. I haven't really been playing that much poker, but I mean, I'm down to give it another shot and play some 1025. I ended up paying $100 for Hold'em Manager with the PLO add-on, and it really just ended up costing me like $500 because, excuse me, made me want to play. Like I said, I just ran not that bad, but played bad, got into a bunch of stupid spots. That's not a spot I'd usually see bet. I'm too busy thinking about PLO, and that's why. It's a terrible spot to be in. They have a ton of aces. He also can have some draws, 9-10, flush draws, combo draws. 5s doesn't play well. That's a pretty easy check back, but I lost focus there for a second. So given that stack size, easy fold. Nothing we can do. We're not going to shove on him. He's committed. Hey, we're going to get a chance here to make some back. I'm going to raise it. It gives us initiative. Now we're out of position, but it also makes it so when we do flop a set, it's a little bigger. The pot's a little easier to build. We're going to get raised again. So this guy's picking on us. This one I'm actually okay. Heads up. I'm okay c-betting. This board's actually not great. There's a ton of draws, and he will have some jacks, 10s, and 2-pair type hands. Kind of weird, but 5's not being so good to us 2 in a row. Ace-king suited will definitely be 3-betting pre, wanting to hopefully at some point target this guy. He's 80-0 over the past 5 hands, so he hasn't raised. He's limped 4 out of 5 hands. Give us like a top pair type hand. There we go. And we will be trying to get this in. If he raises, we'll just be jamming. And I am going to try and set this up so we can jam river, which we will be able to. He'll have 22. There'll be 34 out there. He can shove here and show like queen 9 or something, but that's fine. We are going to value ship. So he 3-outered us on the river. I was a little bit worried about that. For a nice little pot. But I think he was calling it off if he hadn't 3-outered us, unfortunately for us. It's kind of lucky for him. But pretty big fish. So he limped ace-3 offsuit and then called a huge bet. So he's 3 for 3 against us, kind of just owning us here. Queen 8 suited will bump up on the button. Ace 4 here. Same situation we had earlier with Queen 10. So it's like a fun hand to play. It's not really worth isolating against this guy. It's also not good to overlimp with these guys behind you. We would have flopped enough flush draw though, which is nice. I think I am going to squeeze here in position. Queen 10 would be much nicer. Queen Jack suited. Some hands are a little more connected, but we can squeeze. Get our 3-bet percentage up a little bit. Actually like a hand like 5-6 suited more. We're repping a hand like Ace King, so it's actually not a bad flop for us. And I'm going to fire 2. Yeah, he's got Ace King, 100%. Guarantee it. No, he's got Queen 6 high and Queen 8 high just won. What? Thinking that's one of the funniest hands I've played in a long time. Why would you not have Ace King there when you call the turn that quickly? Like I expect Jacks Queens. Now I'm blocking some queens, but I'm expecting like Jacks 10, some weird ace highs to call flop that quickly. You should never have Queen 6 suited, so I wasn't expecting a bunch of flush draws. Ace King suited would have raised at some point, so that definitely felt like Ace King or King Queen, but I'm blocking King Queen as well. Queen 6 suited. So 75-56. Fortunately, he just gave the majority of his money away to this guy, who's also a huge fish, so not a big deal. That's funny. Alright, open-ended straight draw, backdoor straight flush draw, so I am interested in that one. Pocket queens, very interested in, especially with this genius. Really? Guy plays every single hand except that one. Yeah. You could check raise that or just call, which we do. And we're just trying to get to the river here. Could have turned my hand into a bluff on that turn. Alright, I gotta think this through. Oh, 10 Jack King. Yeah, we're just gonna be jamming here. Oh. I'm just gonna jam on him. Oh boy, that's bad for us. Alright. What did he bet a king here? Alright, show it to me. Queen high, no good. We're getting crushed on this table, by the way. Queens lose to kings. I was not happy with the 3 flush out there, but it is what it is. Yeah, so I think an ace would have bet the turn, and I think a king would probably not bet the river at this level. So that's what led me to call there. I expect to see like a flush draw. He should have gut shot, and there's Jack 10 and Queen 10 in the gut shots that would float there. So I felt like there's probably, I think it was close, but I think there was enough. His ag factor was also 2, which means he's willing to bet. So not crazy, but he's not a complete nit. So that's what swayed that decision. 5-handed, this is a little close, but we'll open it. And then this table's just been a disaster for us. Between the queens losing to kings and this guy just crushing our ace king with ace 3 after beating us 2 pots before that. All right, 2 overs, third nut flush draw. We're gonna c-bet. Wow, these stack sizes aren't great. I might get stuck. So if I c-bet 3, I think we might just fold. Dang it. I think I folded really quick. Like, we're losing to ace high with the ace of spades, obviously. We're doing good against one pair. Even two pair, we have some equity. But against, like, the ace of spades, like, the king of spades rolls off, and we just go broke. Really, against that stack size, any spade rolling off was going to be require us to put the money in. So it is what it is. I think I'm going to wrap this session up. I've been playing 1 hour, which isn't a long time, but I got dinner to eat. We are going to c-bet that. And we are going to sit out next big blind on all of these, so we'll get a little bit of time here. That guy min raises, we have no heart. We're going to let that go. And it looks like we'll play one more rotation. 6-8 on the button. We will raise. That would have been nice. Ace deuce, flop trips, nut kicker. And we're going to flop second pair here. Enough draws out there that we are going to c-bet this. Take it down. Good for the red line. And 3-4 under the gun. We can fold. Come on, hurry up, guys. I want to get out of here. I want to go eat. Seven, 4, we did not even bother completing. Actually, probably would have if I'd known it was going to go limp, and we would have flopped open-ended straight draw, so would have had something to work with. King 9 we'll keep an eye on. It's definitely a hand I would steal. If it goes fold through, if it goes like limp, we'll complete. Most of the time it'll end up getting folded. Someone will probably open before it gets to us. We whiff there. Someone does open here. Even though it's a min raise, we're going to fold. If it was suited for a min raise call, and it was suited king 9, there's some possibilities there. We might peel one off. Getting pretty good odds. And we are out of that table. One down. Like I said, we got the roll here around 500. After cashing out, we will open that one up, and it will be our last hand on that table. We get 3-bet for 250. Gosh, it's actually close. All right, we put in $1.50, and it's 250 three ways. It's probably the worst flop possible. It's technically not, but it's a great one to lose some money on. We have a backdoor straight draw and a backdoor flush draw to go with our top pair. And it actually folds to us, or checks to us, so we are going to c-bet. If it gets raised, we're just going to fold and get out of that table. But he calls. Oh, we turned 2 pairs? Sweet. 9-10 beats us. Actually, we can bet a little smaller now. He's stuck either way. Jam aces here. And he folds. Good for the red line. Pocket 10s? I'm not sure what hand would 3-bet pre and then check call a decent sized bet as 2/3 pot size. I thought I told this hand to sit out, so we're going to try and steal that. Sit out next hand. And we're going to sit out of that one. So we win there. Not bad. And that is, I think we got one hand here, maybe a couple here. So, unless something crazy happens, our graph looks like, let's see, we won 55. The graph ended up looking a little swingy at the end, not a ton of hands, about 300 hands in an hour. Red line did okay, especially after that last one. And the green line's the one that matters. So, won about a buy-in in an hour. It's not bad. It's going to be a fold. And we're just going to get rid of that one. I'm not too worried about it. So, thanks for watching. Like I said, anyone who wants to watch more, I'm happy to answer poker questions or questions about software. Pretty much anything you want to see, just let me know next time I stream. Thanks for watching, guys.